When I talk about, 30 years ago, I think about the Columbia Basin, sort of how it was born. And Columbia Basin was born really back when the water came in from Grand Coulee Dam. So before that, we were a bit of a desert and dry land and not too many people here. But when the dam was built and then the water came down in the early 50s, then all this land was irrigated and the farming took off. Not just agriculture, but we had available power for industry to come in. We had recreation because lakes were formed and that kind of thing. Tourism started to happen. We could tell in the 80s our economic base was growing, our population was growing, school enrollments were growing, housing was being built, manufacturing was coming into town. Things were happening in the Columbia Basin. And we could just see that, with that growth, maybe we should start thinking about vehicles, methods to invest, to give back to the community. One day I got a call from Randy Dickinson. And he said, "Rick, what do you know about community foundations?" I said, "Randy, I don't know much, but I'd be glad to explore that possibility with you for the Columbia Basin."
We're a nonprofit organization that has a collection of charitable funds, and our job is to be a vehicle of charitable giving. And so people come to us, whether it's an individual, a family, a business, some type of organization, and they want to utilize our services to execute their mission.
So my first charitable grant check that I wrote, one of them was to the Columbia Basin Foundation. We were babies at the Paul Lozier Foundation. 1997 was our first year of organized gifting.
Just unbelievable the impact that the Columbia Basin Foundation makes on many people's lives, whether you're interested in animals, food bank, the arts, scholarships. It's amazing numbers. It's such an incredible purpose that people get by giving to the foundation and giving back to the community that gave so much to them.
My husband owned and operated his own business here for over 30 years until he got diagnosed with cancer. So one of the things that he wanted was to have a scholarship established in his name after he passed.
My brother, Wayne, who I was partners with, he was fighting some health issues, had Parkinson's. At the end there, finally decided to leave basically a third of his estate to the Columbia Basin Foundation.
We decided that we would start a fund for the food bank. We also started our own designated fund. And that then started a whole wonderful friendship.
Just 3 years ago, my husband passed away after a battle with cancer, and the girls and I decided we wanted to honor him. And so we set up our own style of scholarship.
I have a fund with them through Grant County Public Utility District, the PUD. We are fortunate enough to partner with some of the big industrials, and they give us some money to do some fun things.
We started with our Shop with a Cop program that we do for less fortunate kids in the community. And we needed a partner for our donations and the ability to get donations from the community, turn around, get gifts for kids, take the kids shopping at our local Walmart, which Walmart's been a great partner with us. But quite frankly, the foundation of our relationship with the Columbia Basin Foundation has been literally to give back to the community.
We created a fund in my grandfather's name, and it was the first field of interest fund at the Columbia Basin Foundation. And so field of interest meaning we could name particularly categories without naming a specific organization. So in this case, it was purpose to serve children in the Columbia Basin. And it gave the Community Foundation the ability to choose a grant recipient each year based on that criteria. And it's something that our families really appreciated over the years, is being able to help a number of different organizations out with small grants on an annual basis.
Almost 4 years ago, my wife died in an auto accident. And my wife was very devoted to foster children and adoption. And so my family and I decided to fund an endowment here at the Columbia Basin Foundation to benefit those kids in our area that are stepping through foster system or through the process of adoption.
I see the foundation the Columbia Basin Foundation as a kind of itself a gift to the community. And I see it's becoming more and more a very important cornerstone of the community in what it does in supporting people and supporting programs and supporting scholarships and whatnot. For myself, I view the foundation as a partner in being able to achieve my goals for charitable giving, and in a way that's meaningful, impactful, and in many ways that I couldn't do myself.
It's really a very effective way to support our communities. It's across the Columbia Basin, it's Grant County, Adams County, and it supports a lot of nonprofit causes in the community that directly impact the quality of life.
Looking now at the Columbia Basin Foundation, the growth, the evolution that it's had, the impact it has on the Columbia Basin, having a place and a space for community members to support nonprofits, create scholarships to help students is so powerful. And to reflect back 30 years, knowing that we were able to be a part of it from the very beginning, it feels really good.
It's just been a huge success. I mean, it's hard to believe that what our meager beginnings were with one fund and $37,000 when I was hired is now almost $20 million.
So many people that walk through our doors have life experience, and they're taking their legacy and they're creating something that means a lot to them.
My hope and prayer is that we'll just continue for decades, and that people 50 years from now will look back and say, oh my, what an amazing thing the foundation has been. Look what it's done in our communities in the Columbia Basin.
There's so much hope out there, and the more funding that we have at the foundation, big ideas can happen, and people can give, $20 that can provide books for the Imagination Library, or they can give $500,000, of their estate and do something incredibly, there's just so many options for people.
I don't think there's anything greater you can do than to establish a legacy for a loved one.
It's never too early. Whatever you give, no matter how much it is or how less it is, the amount really doesn't matter. Just do it.
The joy in knowing that we can make the community a little nicer place with what we are able to give organizations.
Individuals and other things that are benefiting from this that normally would maybe not get any benefit at all. A lot of students that don't have the money, this makes it possible for a lot of people that wouldn't have that opportunity.
We want to be transformational. And as we look back and we move forward, I see the Columbia Basin Foundation as really a catalyst for community impact. And I just hope that people, as they learn more about us, that they'll see that we're a community asset, and that behind the scenes, we're boots on the ground, and we're able to make their philanthropic passions become reality and make it very easy.
It's bigger than you. It's bigger than just, it's what you do with you and your family and all that's critically important. But also look around and find other needs within the community. And maybe there's a way that the foundation can help us fulfill those, and we'd all be better off.